Kiss it, baby. What are you willing to do? What are you willing to?
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or for the first timers, welcome to my life. It's crazy, let me tell you. Today is all about meal prepping. So even though it is the middle of the week, it's like Wednesday. Oh, wait, is it Tuesday? Is it Wednesday? It's Wednesday. Today is Wednesday. Even though it is the middle of the week and I normally do my meal preps on like Sunday nights, here in Nebraska, we have had some shitty weather lately. So we had school called off on Monday because it was a holiday, but it would have been called off anyways from the weather. And then Tuesday from the weather. I don't meal prep for like the weekends because we are home and we're around the house more. So it's a little bit more lenient. And also my diet is a little bit more lenient on the weekends. So yeah, that's the gist of that. So a couple different things. I went ahead and bought these fun babies off of Amazon. So I think this was like 10 bucks. I think there's 10 of them in here. So they have a little slot for your protein, your veggies, and then your carbs. And for more precise macros, to hit your macros a little bit more on the dot, I went ahead and bought one of these. I actually need these for my protein because in the chicken packages that I buy, it just says like ounces may vary based on like every single cut's gonna be different. So I really wanna make sure that I've been hitting my protein goals. So I wanna start weighing out like my chicken and my ground beef and all of that stuff since it comes in a container and it's kind of hard to eyeball sometimes, if you know what I mean. So no, these are not necessary. You guys can use just regular Ziploc ones. I just like the different containers on here that's available for you because I don't like my food touching. I'm one of those people. Also, another thing involving meal prepping / meal plans, I actually on my website now have it available for you guys to go ahead and purchase your own customized meal plan. I am providing you guys with macros, 7 days of eating. It is all the good stuff. I will link my website on the page up here and you guys can go check that out. No copy and pasted, no BS recipes, stuff that I eat, stuff that I enjoy, that's not bland and full of flavor and healthy for you at the same time. I have the full gist of how it works. Everything is a lot more in detail on my website. I'm not going to bore you guys, but I'm excited about that. So if you guys want to see some different healthy meal prep ideas that are just a little different, that also taste good while you're at it, go ahead and please keep watching. And do not forget to follow me on social media for other tips and tricks and healthy stuff. So I'll list that below on here too. Oh my God, it made me tired, made me out of breath. That was like a lot. Like, it was like a lot of enthusiasm, you know, on one thing. Like, it took a lot out of me. All right, guys. So what we are doing here is I'm taking some of my sweet potatoes and digging those roots on out of those babies. And then I just take some aluminum foil and wrap all that goodness up in there. So yeah, this is my first voiceover, you guys, so you're gonna have to bear with me through this train wreck. Okay, so wrap all those babies up in there, and then you're going to go ahead and put them in the oven. You guys are preheating the oven to 500 degrees and then go ahead and set your timer to about 50 minutes to an hour, varying on how you guys like your potato texture. So go ahead and take some chicken breasts. I just used whatever chicken breasts we had left from the thing. But if you guys have more chicken, go ahead and cook more chicken, but go ahead and cut all of that nastiness off of there. You do not want all of that fat on there. So get rid of that, baby. Just go ahead and get rid of it. Yep, we're still cutting away over here. It takes a long time. Cutting the fat is the worst part, you guys. Just keep going with it. You guys just keep cutting. All right, so now that we've cut everything off and it's about an hour later, you go ahead and spray your medium-sized pan with coconut oil cooking spray or any non-stick cooking spray that you guys have on hand. You don't need to buy a special coconut oil spray, you know, just to have it, but you can use whatever. But you go ahead and put that all on there, and then you are cooking it over like medium to high heat. I'm going ahead and seasoning my chicken with a little bit of garlic salt, and I don't remember what else I put on there. Looks like I'm putting rosemary on there. I throw some rosemary on there. So go ahead and put some rosemary all up on those chicken breasts. Nope, they're thighs. I keep saying breasts, they're thighs. So go ahead and whenever you guys are cooking them, constantly be like flipping them around so that they're cooking evenly.
I go ahead and I cut my chicken up into little pieces to ensure that they cook a little bit quicker and more evenly. And chicken is just kind of hard to cook in general, so it's a little bit tricky to see if they're cooked all the way through. So I just go ahead and cut it up in chunks, and I found that this is a really easier method. And then for the zucchini, go ahead and I don't know what you guys call it. You gotta strip it, de-skin it or something with that little scalper type thing. You don't have to do this. I just don't like the skin on them. I ended up only using one full zucchini for this recipe, and I just went ahead and refrigerated the rest of it just because of how much chicken I ended up having left over. But you guys are more than welcome to add as much zucchini as you want. And then I go ahead and cut up an orange pepper, and I dice it up into little chunks because I'm going to be cooking it and adding it to the recipe, so I like my pepper in a little bit smaller chunks. And then go ahead and take an avocado, and this is the sloppiest avocado cutting ever. I'm not really 100% sure how to properly cut an avocado, but this works for me. So go ahead and cut that baby out, put it into little chunks, and remove the nut or the seed, whatever you guys want to call it, that's in the middle of it. And then I take some broccoli, and I just took about a handful of it, and I tear them off into smaller chunks because, to be quite honest with you guys, I don't really like broccoli. So when I put it in little chunks like that, I don't really taste it so much. So to each their own, I guess. Do whatever you need to do. And then once all the chicken's cooked and everything, I take my scale and I go ahead and zero it out once I place the bowl on there so that it's reading the bowl, not reading the bowl with my chicken on there. And I measure out 6 ounces of chicken. And I go ahead and put it in my little meal prep container, and we're prepping. We're going. And then I go ahead and I cook my veggies over a medium to high heat in a big old skillet, and I throw some pink Himalayan salt and garlic salt also on there, and then I just wait for that baby to cook. And then while I'm waiting, I'm going ahead and preparing one of my snack boxes. So I'm using the blue corn tortilla chips, and I'm doing a serving size of that, a serving size of carrots, and 1 serving size of my favorite Blue Diamond honey roasted cinnamon almonds. And we're going to throw all that in there along with some peach salsa, and we're using 2 tablespoons, which is just a serving size of that as well for dip for my chips. And then once the veggies are done cooking, I go ahead and measure out a half a cup of veggies in there, and I think I ended up doing 1 full cup of veggies. And then I take my sweet potatoes out of the oven once they're cooked. Be careful because that aluminum foil gets hot, so watch out for them hot potatoes. And then once they're cooled off, I just go ahead and put them in the container and sprinkle them with some cinnamon. And when I say sprinkle, I mean drown. And then I'll go ahead and divide my avocado up into 2 halves, and I put them in my meal prep containers. And sprinkle them again with a little bit of pink Himalayan salt, and there's the finished product. That's the gold mine right there, you guys. I only made 2 meals because, like I said, I didn't have enough chicken, but go ahead and meal prep as many of those as you want. And I guess I'm just really trying to give you guys the full effect with putting it in my refrigerator. So go ahead and refrigerate them when they're done. On to the next snack box. We've moved outside. I'm giving you different scenery. So take 2 unsalted rice cakes and throw those babies in that snack box. Go ahead and take 2 tablespoons of your choice of peanut butter. I use the Skippy, right? Skippy peanut butter with honey. It's not the healthiest one that you can choose to do, but I don't mess around with my peanut butter. And then I go ahead and chop up a full banana, and I think I do like 5 strawberries. And on to our next main meal, I have some lean ground beef that I had thawing out in the refrigerator. We keep our ground beef downstairs in our deep freeze frozen because we actually go ahead and buy like half a cow every single year. So we have a lot of freaking ground beef downstairs. So go ahead and take your lean ground beef and put it into a medium-sized skillet. And I go ahead and cook the ground beef over like a medium to high heat. So it's usually like notch 6 or so, I think, on our oven. The chicken with the ground beef, I go ahead and I cut the ground beef up into little tiny chunks so that it cooks through a little bit more evenly. And take some garlic salt to season it with. And then I also do some pink Himalayan salt and a little bit of pepper as well. And just throw all that baby on there. You guys can choose to not season if you would like to. I just can't do the bland stuff, you know what I mean? So healthy food doesn't have to be bland. So go ahead and take your spatula and cut that baby up. And when I said that it was thawed out, looks like it wasn't completely thawed out. So I'm struggling a little bit here. And boil whatever serving size the packet says for you guys to do. I'm actually doing teriyaki rice. Brown rice is going to be a little bit healthier for you guys, but I'm just a little bit burnt out on brown rice, I'm not going to lie to you, so I'm doing some teriyaki rice. And then, just like with the last recipe, go ahead and take 1 orange pepper and cut that baby up and dice that baby up. And then go ahead and make sure that you're flipping your ground beef and stirring your rice as it's cooking. And then same thing with the last one, go ahead and also cut up another avocado. And once your ground beef is done cooking, I go ahead and I strain it out. So there's not a bunch of juices that's left all up in that baby. So really strain it, just keep straining it. And then I go ahead and same thing as last, measure out 6 ounces of the lean ground beef in my container. And I do that for 2 of them. And just like with the chicken, make sure you zero it out so that it's not including the container in with the ounces of your meat, because everybody wants protein. You got to have that correct amount, you know. And then go ahead and measure out a serving size of rice into the container as well, and then divide your veggies up. So it ends up being half a orange pepper and half an avocado that I put into each one of my meals, since I only made 2. And then go ahead and take the peach salsa that I used earlier and do 2 tablespoons of that and throw that on the ground beef. Thanks for watching, guys, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a hot mess in action. Love you guys. See you later.
Here's what I'm willing to do. We'll take it all night, baby. Let me take you all night, baby.